muscles. Ooh. Ready?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is Carla and this is my fellow flight attendant friend.
Ivan, what's up?
So we have been getting a lot of questions about being a flight attendant, what it's like, how to do this, how to do that, and we're here to answer all of those questions in one video so you guys can know all the 411. So hope you guys enjoy, and I hope we answer all of them because, yeah.
It took about a week
It took about a month to finally get together because we're so busy, but here it is. I also like this because it's like a male perspective and a female perspective.
Yeah, so you
it's
get,
so different.
You get both. It's fun.
How did you get into being a flight attendant?
It's just something that, you know, if you have a travel bug or you have something for traveling, or it really just focuses around traveling. Most of the people do it because they like being around people and they like exploring other cities, and still has to do with traveling, but it's just something that you get into. Once you get into it, you kind of get obsessed with it for a while, because I did when I applied, and that's just how I got into being a flight attendant.
Well, my mom actually told me about it. She's like, you should be a flight attendant. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I was single, I don't have kids, so yeah, that's how I got into it.
Yeah. Next one, what to expect on a face-to-face interview?
Ooh. What, you know?
I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I have been very honest with everybody all the time. I treated the face-to-face interview as if it was my talk show, because from the moment you walk in, all eyes are on you, whether you know it or not. So I really didn't expect much. All I was just expecting was to get there, get this job, and get out with securing the job. That's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything from anyone. I wasn't expecting, you know, anything crazy. I was just expecting for it to be a little bit challenging. There was a lot of people and they didn't hire that many people, so I know it was going to be very challenging because...
It was. I make sure that when you go to a face-to-face interview that you look like a flight attendant. Like I had my little scarf. I had like a little scarf. A lot of people didn't, and they actually complimented the scarf. Make sure you look professional. And just talk to everybody else that's there with you, because they're all nervous and they're all there for the same job. So and they can be your future.
They can be your roommate.
During training. So, it was nerve-wracking, but it's not that bad. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself, because as flight attendants, we can smell bull from a mile away. So once you start faking it, we know you're not being real, and we don't like that. You know, we like working with people. And the people that are conducting these interviews, they're flight attendants themselves, so they want to be able to feel comfortable to have, you know, to have you on the plane and work with them.
Exactly. So just go in confident and you'll be fine.
Very.
How to apply? I get this question all the time. All the time. How do you apply, Ivan? How do you apply?
I don't know. I had to get like this, you know, invitation from the Illuminati, and that's how I applied. No, I'm kidding. So you apply to this job the same way that you apply to almost every and any single corporate job. How, Carla? How do you apply?
Apply online.
Apply online. And there's a really great website. I think it's called Flight Attendant Careers or something.
I think
Have
so.
you heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's called Flight Attendant Careers. If I'm correct, I'm correct. If I'm not, then we'll just post a link on the bottom.
It sounds familiar.
But basically, it shows every single airline, and it will tell you, not tell you directly, but it will show you on the page when an airline is hiring at the moment. So you can go ahead and just click on it, and it sends you to a link that you can go ahead and apply right there and then.
I was always on that website. I'm not even kidding you. It tells you all the airlines that are hiring. So that's good.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So that's how you apply. What's the minimum age to be a flight attendant? I think, does it depend on the airline?
I think it depends on the airline and also the country as well. Because I know, at least with our airline, we're not going to mention it. At least I'm not. You know who we are. You have to be a minimum age of 21 by the time that you graduate training. So you can still be 20 in the middle of training.
We had 20-year-olds in our class.
We had 20-year-olds that turned 21 like the day before, like the week before.
Yeah, that was fun. That was cool. So I think it is 21.
Most of the airlines is 21. But just double check and make sure you're applying, you know.
Yeah, do your research for that. But we're gonna say 21. Someone asked me if they're thinking about getting their food handler's experience, like working in a restaurant for experience. You don't need experience. I don't think you need any kind of experience because they train you, they mold you into that flight attendant that they want.
That they want you to be.
I don't recommend getting a restaurant job for experience.
If you already have the experience, then don't even worry about it. As long as you have a customer service experience, you're good to go.
True. Resume. People have asked me like, what do they put on their resume? And I feel like it just depends on what your experience is, like we were just mentioning. If you have, like for me personally, I used to work at school, so I've been CPR certified, first aid kit certified, like all that stuff. So include those little things. Also, if you've ever like in high school, I used to volunteer a lot, like beach cleanup day, you know, just like little things. They like to see that.
Yeah.
You know.
Anything that would obviously make you look good. Like obviously you're not gonna say that you were a stripper at the club right down the street because they're not interested in that. They're interested in the professional you, the you that's gonna represent the company inside and outside of the airport. So
just little things that would stand out.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I took medical courses back in college.
Okay.
I took EMT courses, so I'm EMT certified, but I'm not a licensed EMT, but still I have my experience as an EMT, so that really helps, like medical things, customer service things. If you've had any job with the airport, like any travel industry type of stuff, they appreciate that too.
How long is training? For us, it was 6 weeks.
6.5.
6.5 weeks. It went by really fast. It just depends what airline, because I know some are longer, some are shorter.
Yeah, some are longer, some are shorter, some can be months. It all just depends who you apply with.
Yeah, but ours was 6.5.
Yeah, just make sure you do your research. Again,
Yes.
research.
Can you have 2 jobs as a flight attendant? And a nurse asked this question. Oh, my hair.
Los pelitos.
Mis pelos. I guess you can. It depends on your schedule. You really have to work out your schedule once you're a flight attendant, because like for us, we're on reserve and we have a line, so it's like you just have to be careful with your schedule, work it out.
It gets tough. We had a classmate in training that she was a nurse back in San Francisco or Sacramento. And I actually, like, how are you going to do it, you know, being a nurse and being a flight attendant? So she said, you know, figure out my schedule. The hospital works for the, you know, they work closely with me as far as like my schedule. So they're very flexible. So if you have a second job, make sure it's a job that you can have and it's very flexible. Not something that it's like you have to be here 5 days a week. Because let me tell you, 5 days a week, you're going to be somewhere, you know.
I think she actually does do both.
I think she does, yeah.
Which is cool. So she's like a nurse and a flight attendant. So yeah, you can. And I know other people have like other jobs too. Like other flight attendants have like a little side job.
Yeah, like if you have like a side gig, like for example, I do photography professionally. I have that on the side. That's like a little small amount of income. Some other people, they're
this girl does lashes,
makeup artists. That'd be dope.
That's smart. So yes, you can. What were our base options in training? What were they?
Well, our base options for I'm gonna say regular people. Don't think I'm talking smack, but people that were not speakers. Our base options were Boston, New York, and Washington D.C. That's it.
And we're both Spanish speakers. We're considered speakers, but even us, we didn't have an option.
Yeah, because there's so many of us that it's not like they need us anywhere specifically.
But other people that were speakers, like Hungarian speakers, I think they got Chicago. And then they would deadhead to Philly. Yeah, it just depends what language you speak.
Yeah.
But those were our 3 options. But I know every class was different.
Every class was different.
So a class that was like 9 weeks after us got all the cities. They got LA, they got Miami, they got New York, they got Dallas. So it just depends. We only had 3.
Yeah.
But now we're in Miami.
Yes.
The best city, I think.
How long was the hiring process to get the CJO? If you don't know what a CJO is and you're still looking at this video, you should Google it. I'm just kidding. A CJO is a conditional job offer. Conditional job offer means that You have the job, but the only condition is that you have to complete something. In our case, we had to complete 6.5 weeks of training without failing a test for the second time and all the other stuff that we had to do.
Yeah. So if you get a CJO, congrats.
Yes,
it's like the best feeling ever.
congratulations.
I still remember like getting that email with like your training class and everything.
Oh my god, no. My CJO first, I mean, I didn't even get an email. I got a phone call and I started crying. Like,
You got a phone call?
Yeah, like I'm looking at my
I didn't
old
get a
job.
phone
Like it's
call?
right, my old job is right there. You see that building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
I used to
there was like 10.
Brickell City Center.
Oh, okay.
I used to
yeah.
work right there, and I
Oh.
cried, and I told my manager, and I called my mom, and I called my whole family and my best friend, and like
Yeah.
people from high school I never fucking spoke to, and they were like, "Oh, what?" I'm like, "It's okay. I'll tell you later. Bye."
Haven't talked to you in years, but bye.
Yeah, but basically.
How long was the hiring?
How long?
for you?
the hiring process for me, I applied May 15th of 2016.
Oh, you know the date. What time? What
It
time
was like
did you
early. In the,
apply?
it was like 10 o'clock in the morning because I had to go to work right after. But I applied May 15th, the first day that applications opened,
Okay.
and let's just say we didn't graduate training until April 6th of 2018. So that's almost an entire year. And I'll tell you this from experience, you need to be very, very, very patient. If you're not patient, this job is not for you.
Yeah, I think, okay, so February of last year was training.
Yes.
So I applied 2016, I want to say around June, what's before June? May? I think around like May or June. And then it took forever, but December is when I got my CJO email. So it took like 6-7 months around there.
When was your face-to-face?
I think October.
Yeah, same. Mine too.
But other people, it was different for other people. Like other people only took them like 3 months. Other people took them like 2 months.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on
Yeah,
how
the
fast
hiring
they get back
process.
to
Yeah,
you.
the hiring process. It all depends on how bad they need people, and how many people are applying,
Yeah.
and what time you're applying. So,
Yeah.
like the guy that referred me to the job, it took him like 2-3 months. That's all I was expecting, 2-3 months.
That's not bad.
But it took me a whole year, so it is what it is.
But we're here now.
Yep,
So
we are here now.
the wait was worth it.
In training, what do you need to know? So before training, the airline that you apply for, you got the job with, they will send you, typically what I would expect, that's what they did with us, they would send you a packet and an email letting you know what you need to study before training, what you need to know. Don't worry, you're not going to have a test the first like 2 or 3 days, but maybe the 4th or 5th day you will, based on whatever they told you.
I know, I remember I like studied my ass off. I was like, I was so nervous, but it's not that bad. They usually let you know what you need to know. But I really studied.
Oh yeah.
So, oh my god.
I studied for 2 months.
So annoying.
I had to burn those
That was
flashcards.
stressful. I don't even know where mine are.
I
need to
burned
burn
them.
mine.
I burned them. I had a barbecue.
Barbecue?
Do you get a roommate and is it the same sex?
During training.
Or different sex?
During training. You do get a roommate.
Yes.
I think I liked how we weren't at the training center. We were at a hotel, which I liked personally. Did you like that?
Oh, I love that. Yes. Yes.
Why'd you say it like that? Oh, I love that.
Because I don't know, I just felt like a little bit more freedom. Like, yeah,
I agree.
we're adults, we know what to
No,
do.
but you do get a roommate, and you get the same sex roommate. I don't think they go off age.
They don't really go off
Yeah,
age
no.
because I was 22 at the moment, and my roommate, I think he's like 30 something. And there was some people that they were like 20 something and their roommate was like 40 or 50. Yes,
Yeah.
they do hire people up to that age. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm too old for this job.
No.
No, you're never too old for any job.
Never. I was 25 and my roommate was 35, and she was amazing. I love her.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get a roommate.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be completely honest, you probably may not like your roommate. It's happened to some people
It's
that are
happened.
training. It's happened, but you know what? You're there for a job. So if you want to put this mindset to yourself that you're there for the job and not to make friends, and by all means go by that.
Mm-hmm.
But just try to make friends with your roommate, because if you think about it, when you're working on the line, there's gonna be moments where you have to work with people that you may not get along with, but it's because you have to work with them.
Yeah.
You're not there to be their friend. You're there to work.
Just make the best of it.
Make the best of it. Enjoy it.
As a student, do they support you if you're in school?
They
yeah, but it'd be really hard.
It is hard. You have to do
It'd
more
be
of like
really
online
hard.
classes.
Yeah, I don't even think I would be able to go to school.
Yeah. I've thought
Wait,
about
what,
going
isn't
back
it?
to school.
Really?
Yeah. For marketing and public
Dang.
relations. I want to, but at the moment, like, it's kind of tough, like your first couple years to like, because your first couple years you really have to work a lot.
You do.
So it's like working that much and
Yeah.
then trying to go to school, it's going to be a little bit tough. So maybe after like 5 years, then maybe you can go back to school.
Or like you said, online classes. That's an
Yeah.
option because you
That's-
can like take your laptop with you.
That's
and
like
stuff.
honestly, I think that's like the only option because
I
like
know,
being
it's so hard.
being physically there, it's going to be very
It's gonna
very
be
hard.
so hard, but it's possible. Okay. Do you need a degree or classes? Oh
A
my god, a degree.
You do
no,
not need a
we don't need a degree. And I was telling Ivan, I was doing aviation classes in Glendale, California, at a community college, and my teacher was actually a flight attendant for a major airline, and I was there maybe for like 2 semesters, almost 3, and then I was even doing like an internship at LAX, and then I was like, why am I here? Like I can just apply. I'm wasting my time. So
Yeah.
I dropped out. I'm a dropout student, which is fine. But I just applied and I got the job. So no, you don't need any classes, any kind of degree.
You don't even need people have asked me like, do you need to go to flight attendant training before flight attendant training? Like, does that make any? First of all,
I get it
ask
though, because I
yourself-
was there.
well, okay, but you didn't have like flight attendant training.
No, not like it was more like aviation courses. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to get more knowledge of like the aviation world,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's totally
which
fine.
I did. It helped a lot, I think.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But if you are gonna go into flight attendant training before going to flight attendant training,
No.
then you are going to training for, I mean, at a school that just wants your money and they probably have no
Exactly.
idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do not need a degree, you do not need a certification.
No.
You get taught everything you need to know at training.
Yeah. But luckily, I didn't waste any money, thank God. Besides my gas, I live like an hour away, so that was like a waste of gas. But I got financial aid, so everything was paid for, which was nice. And it was a good experience. But no, you don't need you don't need any classes, no degree. Do you get paid during training? No.
Negative.
That
You
one's
do
okay.
not. Hold up.
Hold up. Wait a
Pause.
minute.
Let me put some flight attendant in it.
Hey, okay.
Okay, so you do not get paid during training. And I know for some people they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to get paid, I'm not going to apply. Then let me tell you something, you don't want to be a flight attendant. This job is really mainly about traveling and, you know, getting to know different cities and different cultures and whatnot. But my advice to those that...
Oh my god. I'm okay. Continue. Your advice?
But my advice for those people... But my advice for those that are applying for a company that does not pay you during training is save up between 5 to 6 months worth of bills. Save that amount that you're going to pay during training and then after training, because after you finish your initial training, it's going to be a little bit tough with money, I'm going to be very honest, but if you have the money saved up, it's not going to be hard at all.
I agree. Especially because after training, you move to most likely a different city. You have to find a new place to live, you know, crash pad, whatever it is. So I'm glad I saved up.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad I had enough, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's other airlines that do pay for training. If you want to look into that, by all means, go for it.
But expect not to get paid.
Expect not to get paid because it's training.
How was the schedule and days during training?
Okay, so our days and our schedules during training, they set up, when I say they, I say the company and the training department, they set up training in a way where you're accustomed to waking up early for your assignments. So early. Like I remember I had class once at like 5 or 6 a.m.
We were in the same class, by the way.
Oh yeah, we were. That's how we know each other.
But yeah, super early.
It's very early. Sometimes your days can be between 10 to 12 hours a day. It really all just depends on the curriculum for your training and how your instructors manage that curriculum. Sometimes like we can get out of class a little bit earlier, enough time for us to go ahead and study. So
yeah,
it all just depends.
It depends. Yeah, you answered it. Yeah, that's all. He answered it.
My tip when you're applying, if you're still watching the video to the moment, good for you. This is going to be a great tip for you to go ahead and apply.
I want to hear it.
Look into their hubs. If you live in San Francisco, for example, and you want to apply for an airline that doesn't have a hub in San Francisco, chances of you actually being home for work is slight to nothing. So I applied for airlines. I only applied for 2. I keep saying airlines. I applied, like when I was looking into airlines, I was really applying for airlines that I knew that they had hubs in my city or somewhat near my city, because that would really help me and that would guarantee me being able to come back home. If, for example, after training I would have to go to Chicago or New York or Dallas or LA, I would know that I have a slight chance of being able to go back home and living home.
Which you did.
Which I did.
Yeah.
So, kudos to me for that, So if you want to go ahead and apply, that's a great, great tip.
That's... I just thought of a question that I've gotten before a couple of times. Can you have tattoos? Yes,
Answer
you
is
can. Yes. So when I was applying at airlines, I started applying at regional airlines, smaller company airlines, and I went to like face-to-face interviews and I did really well. And it came to the question, do you have tattoos? And I was honest, of course, and I said yes. And they denied me. So this happened like maybe 3 times at 3 different regional airlines. So I was like, I'm gonna start a tattoo removal process, which hurt like hell. I went maybe like 4 times or 3 times. And then when I applied at our airline, they were okay with tattoos. And I was kind of like upset because I started the process. But I stopped and they're kind of like faded, but you can have tattoos as long as they're professional and covered. So
at least with our airline.
Yeah. And I have one on my ankle, so I just wear like black pantyhose. Are they pantyhose? What are they called? Those little hose things? I don't know what they're called.
And when they ask you if you have tattoos, you be honest.
Just be honest. I'm honest. Like, yeah, it's so common nowadays, so I feel like they won't really judge you if you do.
And if you want to kind of defend yourself with the tattoo policy, you tell them like, I mean, I don't have any tattoos yet.
Not yet.
But not until I start hanging out more with her.
Let's go get one after this.
Right now. Let's go right now.
No. Are you serious?
So for example, for a guy, if I, let's say for example, have like my whole like sleeve, I can tell them like, yes, I have tattoos. But when I wear a long sleeve shirt, you can't see them.
Exactly.
Your uniform has long sleeve shirts, so it won't be able to be seen. 1, you're telling them that you do have them and you're being very honest. 2, you are letting them know that people won't be able to see them. And 3, it shows that you did your research on the company because you know about their uniform.
Yeah, I have to wear long sleeves because of mine. And I got a new one last year in Quito, Ecuador on a layover. So yes, you can have tattoos and just make sure that you have the proper uniform. So my dresses are long sleeve, my button-up shirts are long sleeve, which kind of sucks, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. I've gotten questions like, where do you fly to? We do, since we're both speakers and we're based in Miami, we do
a lot of
international Caribbean, South America.
Yeah. I just came back from South America today.
Yeah, he just came back this morning from Colombia.
Colombia, ¿qué pues?
We do domestic.
Yeah. Not much domestic though, because we're speakers, so we just stick to like...
I've been doing domestic, but not like... It's not that...
Not like you're going to like Eagle or
I go to like
Fatal.
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia.
Or it's like... Just like random little cities, but I love doing international
Yeah.
trips.
Oh, this is a really important thing when you're applying. I had doubts when I applied. Should I apply as a speaker or should I not apply as a speaker? You know, Japanese, Cantonese, Mandarin, Hungarian, Czech, French, whatever it is. Yes, apply for it as a speaker. Whether you get the position as a speaker or as a non-speaker, you're still gonna get yourself a position, because as a speaker, you do have the benefit of one, getting paid a little bit more, which is always great, and two, getting international trips, which is even better, and three, it's just good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool because, like, for us, if we're the speakers on the flight, we get paid extra.
We get paid extra.
Which is nice.
Okay, so I get this question a lot. I get the question of what is the pay like? I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm not telling you.
We can't say.
One, we can't say because it always changes. And two,
which is nice.
Which is nice. And two, you get paid, well, we get, at least us, I don't know about other airlines, but we get paid very well for what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your airline, you do, like, for example, us, we get a raise every year, that we can play a year with the company, and it just gets better and better and better and better. So trust me.
And better.
And better. So trust me, yes, the pay is always a question to be concerned about, because we all have certain lifestyles that we've had in our, you know, like, normal people lives, and then as our flight attendant lives, it's kind of hard to keep up with that lifestyle because maybe you don't get paid as much to keep up with it. If all you care about is the money, then let me just tell you, this job isn't for you. And I'm telling you this as a person that used to be a manager before. If all you care about is money, then why don't you just become an entrepreneur and make a business of yourself, and, you know, make the money that you want to make. Because if all you care about is money, then just be an entrepreneur, make your own business.
This job is definitely more than that.
Yeah, this job is way
Which, I mean,
more
we get, like you said, we get paid good, which is nice.
Yeah.
But just, honestly, like, these past 9 months, just like all the experiences, all the experiences, like all the people you meet, like the crews that you work with, have made this job what I thought would be.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
It's just amazing. It's life changing. Has your lifestyle changed? Like, as
Hell
far as
no,
money?
I'm still bougie. I'm still the same person. So if I can keep up with my bougie life,
Same.
then
We still thought and Bob.
she is.
You are too.
I'm still snoozing and cruising
Boozing
and boozing.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions
No. I
for
don't
the
think
general
so.
audience of YouTube?
I don't think so. But we hope that this was really helpful as, like, new hires.
Yeah.
I know there's flight attendants that make videos, but we're, like, still fresh.
We're still fresh.
Meat,
So we're giving it to you.
Yeah.
We're giving it to you straightforward.
Straightforward, fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh out of the oven.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so
Good
that
luck
is it.
to, I don't know when training starts this year, 2019, but
I've heard that it probably starts ending of February.
If your training class starts
Before that, let us know.
you know what that means, right?
If it starts, for us that means a lot of things, but we can't tell you. We cannot.
What's the main thing though? We can say it.
What?
1, 2, 3.
Seniority!
Woo!
Seniority is a really big important thing, trust me.
Yes, that's like everything in the company,
Yeah.
seniority. So if you get an SJO, hit me up.
SJO?
Oh,
San Jose?
CJO. CJO.
I'm like San
SJO.
Jose, Costa Rica?
I want to go to Costa Rica, guys. If you get a CJO, there's so many abbreviations in this job.
Yeah.
If you get a CJO, hit us up. We want to know
Yes.
who you guys are. And congrats in advance.
Congrats on getting this far.
Yeah.
One, getting this far in the video.
Yes.
And two, congrats on making it past all these other, you know, like tests and obstacles,
yeah.
and congrats on, you know, being the shining star in the group of flight attendants that went to your face-to-face interview, because it is hard.
Alright guys, well that's it for today. We hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we hope that it was helpful, because it's what we've been asked plenty of times, so here it is. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to Ivan's channel.
China.
What is your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel, you can look it up by YouTubing or whatever.
YouTube.
Ivan's Passport.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
He's gonna go back to YouTube slowly but surely. He'll
Slowly
be
but
making. So
surely,
go
yes.
follow him. Go subscribe.
Yes.
And your Instagram.
My Instagram handle is KUW-Ivan.
Keeping Up with Ivan.
Yes.
Short for that.
Yes.
And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let everybody know. And my Instagram is King Carla. Twitter, you can message me. I have Twitter and Snapchat, but I don't go on it as much. But go ahead and message me, Twitter and Snapchat. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.